we also try to draw this in the map, and actually it fits easily. There is space for making one lane, a more perpendicular entrance, a more smaller curves for exiting and entering, some nice bicycle facility. If you, for instance, at the top you come from the bridge, you have a facility. If you come from the bridge, you come from the bottom. We moved the crossings a bit closer to the roundabout. You come to a bicycle path, then you meet zebra markings. You find your way either to turn left and then go in on the embankment, and you have a good backing, how do you call it? Protection from the back. That's over here. You have a good protection to merge with the traffic on the embankment. Or you go straight and then you have priority with the junction. So it fits. And if it would be drawn nicely with a computer thing, etc., might look like a bit like this. For this, you would need, with a circle in the center, as it is now, where the palm tree is sitting, you would need about 40 meters in diameter from the end of the footpath all the way around to the other end of the footpath. There is 60 meters, so there's not a problem of space. However, with the current car volumes, there's not enough space because there's 2 lanes not for nothing. So these Dutch principles, to meet them in busy streets like this, at peak hours, it is very difficult to make the space, or to get less space for cars and more for the bikes. But that's at peak hours. And so at peak hours now, bicyclists have to go in between the chaos that is there and find their way and choose their lane and be brave. Outside of peak hours, there's lots of space. Outside of peak hours, what is used with the space? You could have these bicycle facilities, but well, you cannot put them up and break them down. But what will happen is that cars will speed up. So because it's so large, you will have a large roundabout and you can speed up, you can nearly go straight. So there's difficulties for bicyclists as well. Even though there's less bicycles at off-peak hours, you have the problem. So for the current number of cars, it's not possible to reduce this. But if you look at passengers volumes, not at car volumes, but at passenger volumes, you could use this type, and you could get the number of persons passing in a system like this, because how do you call it? The capacity of these bicycle lanes, even though they're only 2.50 meters, is way higher than an extra car lane. So there you would be able to get your capacity if you get people convinced that they will leave their car and go by bike or by public transport. How do you get that? We did the traffic engineering. Well, it's always a bit more complicated than we did yesterday, but that's feasible. The most difficult thing is to do the social and political engineering. That was a lot of the discussion we had about this yesterday, because we spoke to people from the boroughs, from TfL, from the London Cycling Campaign, and you have to get away space from the cars and give it to the bicyclists, and not take it away from pedestrians or public transport, because you don't want that, because that's also a very likable means of transport for a city like this. The Dutch cycling principles, that's quite a big leap at these sort of roads. But for maybe you can go adapt it to British cycling things. Someone in the workshop said, maybe we should go first for cycling 1.0. And then quality is a thing that we have in Amsterdam, that we have in the Netherlands. Always aim for quality. So don't leave out quality, but that's a thing you should keep in cycling 1.0. And also you need patience, because you cannot do it overnight. You need persistence. And I think for those two, at least you'll have the London cycling campaign because they will be there. You know, politicians, they come and go, ministers as well, but you will be there. Courage you need. So you need courageous elder men, but we also need that in the Netherlands. In the Netherlands, we have the same problem. If you have to give space from the cars, take it away from the cars and give it to bicycles, it is difficult. So courageous governors. And you cannot do it overnight. And that's for governors, for ministers, it's more difficult. It's easier to make a motorway because you can build it and you can add more to it. And you can do it maybe in 3, 4, 5 years' time. But this takes longer time. So at one point, you need to take small steps, but always you have to get a large-scale vision and keep that vision. And that's what's happened in many Dutch cities. It didn't start in the 1970s. It started in the 1970s with a vision, and they kept to the vision, and that's really important. But you can take small steps. Maybe these big roads are difficult at some points, but sometimes you can find opportunities to do things. In smaller streets, that's a thing, but also at some places where already something is happening, where already capacity for cars has been reduced. For instance, when you had the congestion charge, you got more space. You got more space for buses. And maybe we don't do it in the Netherlands, but combining buses and bikes, well, can be helpful. You have to find out how to do it well. The drivers and the cyclists have to learn to live with each other. At bus stops, you need solutions, but here you can find a way of making use of the advantages of both. And then another thing, which might be an opportunity, for instance, the building of Crossrail. It was what I was told. I haven't seen it, but what I was told, there's a lot of roadwork going on to build Crossrail. It's an east-western line through London, a railway line. It's underground, but on the level streets, the streets are being rebuilt. Capacity for the cars has been reduced because of roadworks. After the whole period of time of building of Crossrail, the car users had gotten used to that. And why not bring back a smaller street with better facilities for bikes in that street? Everybody will be happy because the cars, they get some space back, but not all of it. Just not all of it. So there you have to be creative to find such opportunities and also to be in time, to be there. Well, I think to work together, London Cycling Campaign, TfL, the boroughs, to find such opportunities and to step into it, it can be very good. And then also give it a British touch. I'm here from the Netherlands, and we love cycling, and we go Dutch. We like to go London as well. Our cycling in London is great, if you find your way. But maybe what I was seeing when I was cycling around in London, I see the Royal Albert Hall, and I see these benches with that, in loving memory of so-and-so. We don't do that so much in the Netherlands, but maybe you could do it here. And maybe why not make, like for instance, what's his first name? Bradley Wiggins Bridge, Bradley Wiggins Bicycle Bridge, or the Bradley Wiggins Bicycle Connection, whatever. So maybe that's one of the opportunities you can make.
Very good.
Thank you.